Hi everyone, I'm Peaceful Nik, also known as the Psychic Scientist. Please go to my website and get the free guide to finding your spirit guide. It's totally free. Links are embedded to videos explaining different parts about how to find your spirit guide. I was on the Unbelief podcast today, so please go to the Unbelief podcast website or search Jeremy Steele on YouTube and you will see the awesome podcast. I was so grateful to be a guest on the podcast. We talk about my journey from scientist to mediumship. I have a free introduction to mediumship workshop this Saturday, January 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're interested, you can go to my website. All of that's linked below. And you can register totally free, no obligation. On the 12th, this Sunday, January 12th, with medium Kathy Behrens and I, we have the a la carte spirit exchange. It's a 90-minute gallery style mediumship reading. It does have a cap of only 25 people, and there are only a couple of spaces available. You can also go to my website to join that. I also have a Find Your Spirit Guide workshop. That's one of the most common questions I get in my mediumship is how do I find my spirit guide? On January 23rd, I'm having a workshop about how to find your spirit guide. I'm going to help people through how they can connect to spirit, elevate their frequency, and find their spirit guide. On the 25th of January, my beginners mediumship 6-month mentorship starts. That is also listed on my website. And the 26th of January, I have a tarot oracle card gallery style with Lady Shadow or the Urban Witch. You will have a guaranteed card reading in that event. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am just grateful to be building my YouTube channel. I appreciate every subscriber, every like, and every share. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Right now, I don't see if the chat is working, so if somebody could just put an emoji or say hello, put a check mark so I know you're here. And I'm going to start talking about different aspects of mediumship. So please, if you have any questions, also put those in the chat. I started a little early, so viewers may be slow to join. But I see there are people here, so let me check and see if I can check on my other device, if I can see the comments. So just bear with me. You know, live streaming, you never know what you're going to encounter. So let me see. Unless somebody's brave enough to say hi, I would appreciate that. Somebody say hello. All right, there's viewers here and no chat. So if anyone knows me personally, is here and can see the chat, please text me and let me know because I don't see anything in the chat. And I would hate to have to end the stream and start it over. So I would like to talk about clairs. I get this question often. What are the clairs? How do I know what my clairs are? And what does that mean? What are clairs? So your clairs are kind of like your ESP. You guys know what ESP is, extrasensory perception. People who are psychic, who can see things before they happen, that's kind of like a clair. So extrasensory. So we have our 5 senses, right? Sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of taste, smell, sound. I said hearing. Clairs are the same. We have clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. You can see clairvoyantly inside of your mind or outside of your mind. Most of my clairvoyance is inside of my head. I do get some of my clairvoyance superimposed outside of my head, almost kind of like a very faint hologram. If you've ever seen a hologram in a movie or projected on a screen on television or in real life, it's kind of like that. I can see the hologram sort of projected outside of my head. Most of my clairvoyance is inside of my head. There are different exercises to develop clairvoyance. Excuse me. One of those exercises would be to take any card, any object. So let's see, I'm going to just grab a random oracle card and I'll hold it up and I'll say, there's a picture on this card of people. How many people can you see in your mind? And then you kind of focus and you focus and you close your eyes and you try to tune into the energy of either what I know I'm seeing or the card. And you try to guess using your senses, or tune in more appropriately, how many people are on the card. So if anybody's there, I still don't see anything in the chat, which I find very surprising. You would try to sense how many people are on the card. So let's see if I'm going to text a friend about the chat, because I really will be very sad if I can't see the chat. Because that would be sad. All right, so on the card there are two people. So if you were here practicing and you're just watching silently, if you knew it was two, that's a good job. So that's kind of how you would practice clairvoyance. You kind of try to see what's on the card. You try to see. You can do that with regular playing cards. What color is the suit of the card, which is kind of a 50-50 chance. What's the shape of the suit of the card, which is a 1 in 4 chance. Let me type something here and see if it, oh, okay, it shows up. All right, so if you wanted to practice clairaudience, there are some simple techniques to practice clairaudience. Clairaudience is clear hearing. So if you are connecting to, oh, okay, good. There's the chat. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate that. I'm sure more people will join as we go further into, because I technically am just now supposed to be starting. So if you're just joining at the top of the hour, I started a few minutes early because you never know what's going to happen on a live stream, and I like to be prepared. Thank you very much. So clairaudience is clear hearing. Often people will say, I was going to bed and I heard somebody call my name. That's clairaudience. Or I was home alone and I heard someone call my name, but nobody was there. That's clairaudience. Or I thought I heard my grandma who passed away talking to me, but she passed away 10 years ago. That's clairaudience. A lot of us have these clairs and we don't realize we have them. You can practice clairaudience by listening to music of your choice and tuning in. Say you listen to the same song 5 times in a row, but tune into a different part of the song each time. The first time, maybe you're just listening to the voice. The second time, maybe the drums. The third time, maybe the guitar or whatever instrument you want. That's going to help tune your hearing inside your head, outside of your head, into different tones and sounds. It's just an exercise. You can also, here, let's do another random card and see if I can find one that has something that would make a sound on it. And I'm not. Okay, perfect. All right, I have a card here, and if you wanted to practice your clairaudience, I would potentially instruct you to tune into this card. There is something on this card that makes a sound. And so you'd try to elevate your consciousness and your awareness, and you would try to listen. What does that sound like? Tune into what's on the card, tune into my energy because I can see the card. What does that sound like? You want to concentrate on sound. So if you're watching and you want to tune into sound, say what you think is on the card. That's an example of how to practice your clairaudience. Okay, so for those of you who are watching but not commenting, there is a person blowing some type of brass instrument, some type of horn on the card. So if you heard that inside your head or outside of your head, you tuned in, and that's one way to practice. Another way to practice clairaudience. Then we have claircognizance, which there's probably multiple different ways to practice this, and I think a lot of people have claircognizance and don't know it. Claircognizance is a clear knowing. That means you know things. This would be more similar to a psychic connection. Claircognizance would be when you know something, the information is in your head, and you don't know why it's in your head, and the information's just in your head. For example, I found out someone passed away one day, and this was before I was a medium. In my head, I knew, and I didn't know this person. It was a family friend of a friend. Hi, Dawn. I'm glad you're saying hi. I wasn't sure the chat was working. Holly finally got to say hi for me. So in my head, I knew, just information was in my head that this person died of a drug overdose. And I found out later that that was true. Now, I didn't know this person directly, but that information was validated. That's claircognizance, when you just know something. So if anybody who's watching wants to give any examples of any of the clairs they have experienced, please do so. So the clairsentience is clear feeling. You can feel, and some people use interchangeably clairsentience and clairempathy. Technically, there's just a difference, but I just use clairsentience. Feeling physical or emotional sensations. For example, if I'm doing a reading and I connect to a spirit who was very depressed in their life or very anxious, I will start to feel that. Someone who, that's okay, Dawn. Someone who had a mental health or neurological disorder, I can feel kind of fuzzy in the head. I can feel physical sensations. I get that a lot when I'm doing readings. I'll feel chest pressure or pain, abdominal pain, head pain. I get that a lot. So that's clear feeling. You're feeling the pain. You're feeling the emotions. Spirit gets to me through my nose. It makes my nose itch when they come around. So I apologize for that. Whew, golly. Dawn says, I think I feel my dad with me sometimes. I get tingly on my right side of my body. Yes, so we can feel physical sensations. And actually, I have a beginner's class going on and I have a new one starting. But in my beginner's class the other night, we were working on feeling the physical sensations. And we did an exercise. This is another way that you can try to feel the presence of your loved ones in spirit come closer to you. You can ask them to come give you a physical feeling. You can raise your vibration. You can breathe. You breathe. You have to have deep cleansing breaths. And you lift and elevate your consciousness, your awareness. It's kind of like you have to sense that your soul, your awareness, your consciousness is kind of lifting up off your body a little bit to connect to the spirit world. I know that might sound crazy to some people, but that's okay. And you ask them to give you a physical sensation. So, Dawn, you're probably just doing it automatically. Now, I will say that these are just little tips and tricks on how to start to feel the sensations of your loved ones in spirit. Once you are a medium that is a little seasoned, has a lot of experience, it doesn't take as much time for the connection. Now, some people connect immediately, no problem. It's very natural to them. They don't even really have to try. It's just there. Other people take a much longer time. Some of my students take a very long time. I can be mentoring them in the 6-month program, and it might be the 5th or 6th month before they feel more confident, because we have to feel confident and trust that spirit's going to connect. Well, not everybody has their own life experience and everybody has their own insecurities. Not everybody's just going to pop in the first class and just be like, I'm a perfect medium and everything's wonderful. Now, some people by the end of the first class into the 2nd month, they are connecting and it's no problem. But it takes practice. You can't just take 2 or 3 classes and then become a professional medium. That's unethical. You need to I still sharpen my skills. I still read books. I still ask mediums different things. I'm always trying to learn and be a better medium. You don't just become a medium and everything's perfect. It takes years of development. And a medium should want to learn for the rest of their life. They shouldn't just be like, I'm there, I'm it, everything's great, I know everything. That's not how it works. Hi, Omar. I'm looking forward to meeting you on Saturday. Very much so. I've been watching some of your videos. So I'm glad you're going to be there. All right, so we were talking about clairs. Another thing, and if you have any questions, Omar, please put them in the chat. I just want to review, now that more people are on here, everything I have going on, because it's a pretty big list before I go to the next subject. I have a free guide to finding your spirit guide on my website. It's totally free. You just click the button, put your email in, comes straight to your email. It has links embedded to videos. I think there's 4 videos embedded in it. I do have, I was on the Unbelief podcast that was released today. That is with Jeremy Steele. You can go to unbeliefpodcast.com or you can look up Jeremy Steele here on YouTube. I have a free introduction to mediumship workshop this Saturday, January 11th. It's totally free, no obligation. And we're going to learn all different things about what it would entail if you were in a full 6-month mediumship mentorship. I have a Find Your Spirit Guide workshop on January 23rd. That is also on my website. I have the a la carte spirit exchange this Sunday, January 12th, with medium Kathy Behrens. It's capped at 25 people. It is a 90-minute mediumship gallery with free prizes and Q&A and mediumship readings. I have a 6-month beginner's mediumship mentorship that starts January 25th. And on January 26th, I have a tarot and oracle card gallery with Lady Shadow, the Urban Witch, which you will get a guaranteed tarot or oracle card reading in that gallery. That is also capped. All of the galleries I participate in are capped at a reasonable number of people because I believe, and my colleagues believe, that you should have a limit on your galleries so you're not charging a bunch of people a bunch of money and then 3 or 4 people get a reading. That's not how I work, and I don't think that's ethical to do that. It's basically stealing money from people, and I don't believe in that. So, yes, Omar, I can't wait. It's going to be great. Let's see. What else? Boundaries in mediumship is very important. And what do I mean by that? I'm sure we've all seen television shows where mediums go out and just give random readings to random people at the grocery store, at a restaurant, or wherever they are. That is hopefully that is set up and the people know ahead of time. You shouldn't let spirit just come and go 24 hours a day. You need to have a boundary. You can't let them overtake your life. And I have heard mediums say that they let spirit come in whenever they want. And I don't think that's appropriate, and I don't think it's ethical. It's not good for the human, the medium, because they could get exhausted and worn out. And it's just unhealthy for them. And if you're just going up to strangers all over the place, you could do harm to a person that you are just walking up to and randomly giving a reading to. That's not okay, because I'll give an example. If you have a mother who lost a child 2 days ago and a random medium walks up to them mid trauma, that could spiral that mother into a severe manic episode. You don't know people's histories. You don't know their mental health histories. You don't know what's going on with them. That mother may need a message that day, but it may do more harm than good if you don't know that person. So there are different types of boundaries in mediumship, and it's important not to bombard someone with a sudden reading they weren't expecting. Okay. And for yourself as a medium, you don't want to just be letting spirits come in 24/7. It's not healthy for you. You have to have a boundary. You can tell spirit to, I'm like, when I do my mediumship, this is my office, this is where I do my mediumship, this is where I do all my readings, and they know that this is the time. When I come in here, this is the time for me to do readings. Not when I'm at the grocery store, not when I'm at Disney World, whatever. When I'm here in my office, that's when I do readings. And then I get a lot of questions about psychic versus mediumship. So if you're in the room, say hello and ask questions, because I'm here tonight to teach about mediumship. So ask me any questions. Psychic versus medium. This is one of the most common questions I get as well. What's the difference? Does anybody know the difference between psychic work and mediumship work? I will tell you that all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. And there's a reason for that. A psychic connects to you in your energy, a living person. Connects to your aura, connects to your energetic field. And gives you information about you and your life. A medium connects to loved ones in spirit. The spirit may give the medium information about you and your future, or your recent past, or your health, or whatever. So that is giving a soul giving psychic information to a medium to deliver to a client. But a psychic who just is doing psychic work connects to the person in front of them. A medium doing mediumship work connects to the loved ones in spirit and gets messages from them, gets evidence from them to give to you to prove life goes on beyond this earthly realm. And that's the main difference between psychic and mediumship. Okay. So the next on my list is connecting to spirit. How do we easily connect to spirit? Well, we want to first and foremost breathe. 3 big deep breaths. That kind of clears our system, our neurological system, relaxes our body, gets oxygen through our bloodstream into our brain, clears the mind, just clears everything out. So we want to breathe. We want to remember to keep breathing regularly through this connection, because we want to raise our vibration. So we want to imagine lifting our conscious awareness above our body, raising our frequency. While we continue breathing, we want to raise our vibration. Then we want to imagine maybe a large sphere, a large room, a large area that we're making bigger and bigger and bigger, kind of like blowing up a balloon. And in that space, we are going to invite in loved ones from spirit, loved ones in spirit for our client. And then you may see, feel, or hear a presence. Often I almost always, 90% of the time, see them on the right side of my head. So that's more creative side. This is the analytical side. So I see them in this big bubble. I'll see 1 or 2 or 3 or more people walk through the bubble and kind of stand on this little area. And that's when I'm connecting for a client. So I expand, I invite them in. I'm shifting my awareness to communicate and to be aware of the presence. And then I experience what they are going to share with me. It could be the way they look. It could be how tall they are. It could be their personality. It could be an object they're holding. It could be a million different things. So I see a lot in my head. When I was talking about the clairs earlier, different mediums use different clairs in different percentages. If you're here, say hello and welcome in. Different mediums use different clairs in different percentages. And once you have developed your clairs and you've practiced and you've done tons of readings, you'll realize which clairs are your strongest. And they all overlap, for me anyway. I know everybody is different. For me, my clairs overlap. I don't just see things or feel things or hear things. I have them all happening kind of simultaneously, the same way as when we live in the three-dimensional world. If you're having a conversation with a friend, you can see your friend, you can hear your friend, you can smell the things in the room, the cooking. Maybe somebody's cooking soup or steak and you can smell it. You can see the colors of their clothes. You can hear the sound of the TV in the back. You can feel their energy. So it's kind of like that. So some mediums have all their clairs kind of mixed together and overlapped. And so when I have expanded my awareness and I invite the souls in to connect, I can see them, I can hear them, I can feel them. It's all kind of multiple things overlapped together. And then I express to my client. And then there's evidence versus messages. So this can kind of be a hot topic because there are different schools of thought. Personally, as somebody who has a background in science, I believe that you must have evidence to prove to your client that their loved one in spirit goes on beyond this earthly realm. Now, if you don't have evidence, the message may not be as meaningful. So when I get evidence from a loved one in spirit, I always do a meditation, a sitting in the power prior to every single reading. If I do 5 readings in a row, I meditate in between for every single reading. My first meditation is the longest, and then I do a short meditation for the rest of the day throughout each appointment between. I ask for evidence from whoever the client is, their loved ones in spirit, to prove that life goes on beyond this earthly realm. And then I ask to bring forward messages of hope, healing, peace, and love. Because without the evidence, the messages may be meaningless. Anybody can say, your grandma loved you and she's proud of you. Anybody can say that. But what does that mean if there's no evidence that grandma is actually there giving that message? If you said, grandma was a seamstress who made wedding dresses her whole career and they were, handmade. That's a pretty specific piece of evidence. So you would know, oh, she really is talking to my grandma, because there's no way she would know that at all. And then you can take the message and it's more meaningful. So does anyone have any questions about this? I think my chat is frozen. Gotta love it. It won't move up. It won't move down. It won't do anything. So I could have been getting questions and don't know. I don't know. Somebody say hi. And let me check on here. Let me see. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. That's weird. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, don't forget my free guide to finding my spirit guide on my website. Okay, hi Deb. Nice to see you. Free guide to finding your spirit guide on my website. Totally free. It has videos embedded. Please subscribe to my channel. It is completely free and it helps boost me in the algorithm. I was on the Unbelief podcast, which was released today. You can Google Unbelief podcast, or you can watch it here on YouTube if you look up Jeremy Steele, and you'll see the Mars scientist turns into a medium. Something like that is the title. I have a free introduction to mediumship class this Saturday, January 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern. I have the a la carte spirit exchange with myself and medium Kathy Behrens this Sunday. And it's a gallery style reading for 90 minutes. And you will win there will be free prizes awarded and mediumship readings and Q&A. On the 23rd of January, I have the Find Your Spirit Guide workshop. All of that is on my website. On the 25th, I have the Beginner's Mediumship Mentorship 6 months. 6-month mentorship starts. And on the 26th, I have Tarot and Oracle card readings with Lady Shadow, who is the Urban Witch, and there's a guaranteed reading for everyone who joins. And that is what I am up to. And if anyone has any questions, ask them now. I'm used to a lot more interaction on my lives because I go live on several different platforms. But I'll wait a few more seconds. And please, please, please subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Okay, everyone. Oh, and I will be at the Night of the Mystic Arts, Friday, January 10th, in person in Castleberry from 5 to 9 p.m. I will be giving readings and selling my spirit art, similar to this artwork you see here. So if you're local, stop by and say hi. Okay. I appreciate everyone being here, and I will see you next Wednesday at the same time. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.